Hello, guys. Welcome to Clarity for Sure. And I welcome you all to yet another episode of Agriclarity Concept Clarity Lecture Series. Today's topic of discussion will be on paddy cultivation. This is going to be a power packed episode, so stay tuned. So, before starting with today's session, let us first see what sort of questions have been asked from paddy cultivation over the years in exams like A4. So, here you can see the first question that has been asked is branches that arises from basal nodes of the stem or crown in cereals and grasses. So what will be the answer for this question? The answer for this question will be what? It is tiller, right? Tiller. So tillers are the branches that arises from the basal nodes of the stem or crown in cereals and grasses. Okay, then next there was also such a simple question. See, there was also a question regarding the scientific name of paddy. So you know what is the scientific name of paddy, isn't it? It is the first thing that we study when we study about paddy. Then aroma and flavor compound of rice. Okay, aroma and flavor compound present in rice. This was also one of the um, PYQs that was asked. Okay. Then there is miracle rice variety. Okay, this is also a very simple question. Miracle rice variety was asked in one of the years, and Akioki disease in rice is due to toxicity of which compound? So that was also asked. So you can see the pattern in which the questions are asked from paddy cultivation or from rice, right? So like things as simple as scientific name, okay, and miracle rice. On the other hand, certain questions like this, aroma and flavor compound in rice, this kind of questions are also asked, right? Okay, so this is the range of questions that have been asked from paddy cultivation. So let us see in today's session some of the most important points about paddy cultivation, and let's begin with our perfect session. So first of all, you see, um, we'll see a little bit about the introductory part of paddy, and we'll first see about the botanical aspects. Okay, so first you know that it is the grass family. It belongs to the family of Gramineae, grass family, isn't it? Genus is Oryza and species is Sativa. Now there are three important subspecies of paddy. Okay, Indica, Japonica, Javanica. So these three are the most important subspecies. Okay, so Indica, if you see, it is the tropical rice which is particularly grown in India. Okay, our traditional varieties are indica variety. They have tall and weak stem or come. Okay, so this is the characteristic feature of indica variety. I mean subspecies. Then next comes this japonica. All the modern rice varieties that we see, these are nothing but the cross between indica and japonica. Okay, so japonica is the subtropical rice which was grown in Japan traditionally. They are short and sturdy with highest productivity. Okay, and Japonica varieties are very responsive to even fertilizers and manure as well. Okay, they are very responsive to fertilizers and manures. Okay, and their short and sturdy nature are an advantage. Why? Because whole plant is exposed to sunlight. Okay, so that is why their productivity is so high. Next, another subspecies is the Javanica, so which is the wild form of owned rice. Okay, it is grown in Indonesia. So Javanica is the wild form and it is owned rice. Okay, that means if this is the rice grain, so there is an on. In our varieties, we do not find any sort of on. Our varieties are like this. Okay, but in Javanica, you will see this kind of on is there. Okay, so this is the on. All right. Okay. So this is important. The subspecies and the differences between them, I mean among them is important. Okay. Right. Next, let us see in details about the botany. Okay, some of the most important aspects about the botany. So just now we've seen about culm, isn't it? So haulm or culm, it is the stem of rice. Okay, stem of rice is known as the haulm or culm. Okay, next what we'll see that is the tillers. So this has been one of the PYQs I've shown you in one of the questions of PYQs, that what are tillers? These are nothing but the side shoot or branches that originate from the leaf axils of the main shoot or tillers, right? Or other tillers. Now next is what panicle. What is panicle? The inflorescence. Okay, inflorescence of rice is a panicle. You see, the terminal component of the rice tiller is inflorescence. That means the rice tiller, it terminates into an inflorescence. The name of the inflorescence in rice is what? Panicle. Then what is spikelet? It is the basic unit of inflorescence. Okay, so inflorescence in rice is known as panicle, and the basic unit of inflorescence in rice is known as spikelet. Spikelet consists of pedicel and floret. Next is the spikelet in flower, that I mean in rice, that means the basic unit of inflorescence, the spikelet, which is the flower. So it is, you see, single flowered. Okay, it is a single flowered which is enclosed by lemma and pelia. And these lemma and pelia, they together or collectively, they form the hull of rice. Okay, they together form the hull of rice. So that is what spikelet is, a single flower, okay, which is enclosed by lemmapelia, and these lemmapelia forms what? This lemmapelia forms the hull. Okay. Next, in the flower of rice, there are six stamens. Okay, six stamens. The ovary is tricarpillary and basal placentation. You just have to remember the terminologies. Just try to remember the terminologies. That is, there are six stamens, okay, in the rice flower, and the ovary of rice is what? It is tricarpillary. Rice is a self-pollinated crop, but sometimes natural cross-pollination also occurs. So what is the percentage of natural cross-pollination in rice? 0.1 to 4 percentage. Germination type in rice is hypogel. Again, important point, that the fruit type of rice is what? Caryopsis. Okay, fruit type of rice is caryopsis. Then what is the protein in rice? Again, very important. They've asked about aroma. They may ask about protein. So protein in rice is originin, and white rice has 6 to 7 percentage of protein. Okay. So originin is the protein in rice. White rice, it has what? 6 to 7% of protein. Then amino acid, which is deficient in rice. Okay, amino acid deficient in rice is what? It is your lysine and threonine. Okay, amino acid deficient in rice is lysine and threonine. The next is what? The aroma. This question was there, na? So aroma in rice is due to 2-acetyl 1-pyrroline. So this compound is important. 2-acetyl 1-pyrroline. So they've already asked about this question in AFO. So they may ask this time about the fruit type, right? Or they may ask about protein, or maybe the germination type, or they may ask about this, what is spikelet, because they've already asked about tillers, so they may ask about panicle, spikelet. Okay. Then dwarfing gene in rice is due to DGU gene. Okay, dwarfing in rice is due to DGU gene. So what are the important points that we have got from this particular point, from this particular slide? Very, very important terminologies, right? We have got here regarding the terminologies. One, we have got about the culm. Culm is what? The stem of the rice, right? Then next we have seen about panicle. What is panicle? It is the inflorescence, right? Inflorescence of rice is known as panicle. And the basic unit of inflorescence was what? The basic unit of inflorescence is your spikelet. What does the spikelet consist of? Pedicel and floret. Spikelet is what? It is a single flowered enclosed by lemma and pelia. So lemma plus pelia. Okay, lemma plus pelia. What it will give you? It will give you the hull, right? Lemma plus pelia will give you hull. Okay, hull. So then next what we have seen, the ovary in case of rice flower is tricarpillary. Rice flower has 6 stamens, naturally cross self-pollinated, but sometimes cross-pollination do occur naturally. So that cross-pollination percentage is 0.1 to 4%. This is also important, huh? 0.1 to 4%, the cross-pollination percentage. Germination type in case of paddy is your hypogeal. The fruit type is caryopsis. Again, very important. Fruit type in case of rice is caryopsis. Again, VVI. Protein of rice is known as originin. White rice has 6 to 7% of protein. And the amino acid that is deficient in rice is what? lysine and threonine. Again, very important. Okay. Aroma in rice is due to 2-acetyl 1 pyrroline, and dwarfing gene in rice is what? DGU gen. Okay. So take a screenshot of this particular slide if you want, because this is a very important portion, okay, of the rice botany. Next, let us move to paddy cultivation. So first of all, you see the most important points only I have mentioned here. Temperature range 21 to 37 degree centigrade. Okay, in the different stages of rice growth, the temperature requirement is different, but on an average, this is the range of temperature which is required throughout its life cycle. Okay, 21 to 37 degrees centigrade. Then rice requires abundant rainfall, so it requires about 150 to 200 centimeters. 150 to 200. Remember, it is in centimeter. Okay, it is in centimeter that I've mentioned. So it requires a rainfall of 150 to 200 centimeters. Then clay loam and clay soil are most suited for rice cultivation. Why clay loam and clay soils are most suitable? Because in case of rice cultivation, the soil should have what? Optimum water holding capacity, right? The soil should have optimum water holding capacity. So therefore, clay loams and clay kind of soil are most preferred for what? Rice cultivation. Okay. Also, rice grows in slightly acidic soil. You see, the pH requirements of the soil should be 5.5 to 6.5. Okay. Now, again, important thing is about the sowing seasons. So, three main sowing seasons are followed in case of rice: autumn or aus, aman, and boro. Okay, so you see, autumn or aus, this is the kharif season, aman, winter season, and boro is the spring season. So, what is the sowing time and what is the harvest time? This is very important. Okay, so try to remember the sowing seasons, the name of the sowing season. Naming is important. Okay, they may ask you that when are boro rice sown? Okay, then you will have to know it is November, December. Okay, so you'll have to know what? You'll have to know that boro rice sowing when it is done. Now, again, here you see the seasons are given a kharif, right? Seasons are given kharif, but you can see that sowing time is May, June, right? Winter sowing time is June, July, and spring season sowing time is November, December. So you may be confused, like the name of the seasons do not match with the sowing season. Why? Because in case of rice, the naming of the season is done on the basis of the harvest time and not on the sowing time. Okay. In rice, this is a peculiarity of rice, that in rice cultivation, we name the season of growing or season of growing rice depending upon the harvest time and not the sowing time. Okay, so now if you correlate Kharif season, so harvest time is September, October. Winter season, harvest time is November, December. Spring season, so harvest time is March, April. Now it does match, isn't it? So this is one peculiarity, the naming of the sowing season of this rice is equal to what? It is based upon not the sowing season, rather on the harvest time. All right. Okay. Next, let us talk about the seed rate. So these are the methods in which the rice is cultivated in India, and their optimum, you can say, seed rates are being mentioned. Okay, so highest seed rate requirement is in case of broadcasting 100 kg per hectare, and the lowest is in case of what? Dapog method 1.5 to 2 kgs, followed by that is your Shri method 5 to 6 kgs. Okay. Next, let us talk about another important point from paddy cultivation point of view is your water requirement. Okay, so water requirement for paddy cultivation is 1100 to 1250 millimeters. Okay, and in paddy cultivation, you see the daily consumptive water use of paddy is what? 6 to 10 millimeters. This is also seen in the questions of agriculture related examinations, right? This part, that is rice field submergence. It is at 5 centimeters. So rice field usually what? The submergence is at the what is the depth of submergence? That is 5 centimeter, except for during maturity. Once the rice starts to mature, then this depth of 5 centimeter is reduced. Okay. Then planting to panicle initiation stage. planting to panicle initiation stage requires the highest water, that is 458, followed by panicle initiation 417. And what is the water requirement at the nursery stage of paddy cultivation? Just 40 millimeter. So what you can see that during the period when the rice is on the field, when the rice is in the field, during that time only the water requirement is highest, isn't it? So that means during the field, or you can say during the cultivation period only, the rice water requirement is highest. Okay, you may imagine it is nursery stage. No, nursery, it's not nursery stage, it is the planting to panicle initiation. Okay, planting to panicle initiation, it is the highest water consumption for rice, 458, followed by panicle initiation to flowering, 417. Okay, now again VVI point, you can see critical stages of water. Okay, so what is the critical stages of water requirement for rice? It is, first is booting. If you have only one irrigation, only facility for one irrigation, then you must use it for booting stage or panicle initiation stage. Then if you have two irrigations, then you should go for heading and flowering. So what are the critical stages of water? First is utmost important stage for water requirement in case of rice is what? Booting stage or panicle initiation, followed by heading and flowering. Okay. Next we'll talk about puddling. Puddling, you know, it is what? It's a field preparation of rice, isn't it? Main field preparation of rice consists of puddling. So what is puddling? It is the practice of churning the soil with water. Why? So as to make reduced percolation, loss of water. Because you know, in case of rice, we need a submergence, isn't it? 5 centimeter depth submergence. So if the soil is, if there is percolation loss of water, then what will happen? Our objective of this field submergence will not be met with. So what we do, we go for churning the soil with water so as to reduce this percolation loss. Okay. So puddling is done in paddy field with standing water 5 to 10 centimeters. So when we do puddling, the water depth should be what? 5 to 10 centimeter. What are the advantages of puddling? Number one is obviously this one, that is to reduce the percolation loss of water. Second, it kills weed by decomposition. Third, it makes the soil softer, facilitating easy transplantation of rice seedlings. And the first one that I was talking, the fourth is what? The reduces leaching losses of fertilizers as well. Okay, so what are the advantages or objectives of, you can say, puddling? Number one, to reduce percolation loss of water. Number two is kills weeds by decomposition. Number three is makes the soil softer, facilitating easy transplantation of rice seedlings. And number fourth is to reduce the leaching losses of fertilizers. Okay, so next we'll see about the system of rice intensification. So who invented the system of rice intensification? That is Henry Laulini. Okay, where? That is in Madagascar. Okay, so this technique of system rice intensification was invented by Father Henry Laulini in Madagascar in 1983. And in this method of rice intensification saves about 20 to 25% water over the conventional methods of paddy cultivation. For system of rice intensification, we need 100 meter square of nursery area, and the seedlings in this case are ready to transplant in just 11 to 12 days after sowing. Now, what you will see that for conventional methods of paddy cultivation, okay, for conventional methods of paddy cultivation, nursery area, how much it is required? 1/10. Okay, nursery area is 1/10 of the total main field जो area होता है उसका 1/10 portion we need for nursery. Okay, that means if we have 1 hectare, if we need 1 hectare, if we are going to go for paddy cultivation in 1 hectare area, then for conventional method, our nursery, okay, our nursery area will be what? It will be 1/10 of this 1 hectare, right? 1/10 of 1 hectare means what? 1/10 of 1 hectare means your 1000 meter square. 1000 meter square. But in case of this one, Sri method, you see only 100 meter square nursery area. So here also we are saving our resources, isn't it? We are saving resources like water, 20 to 25% of water. We are saving resources like nursery and the land, because we're using 10 times less land, isn't it? And we're saving our resources like time, because it is ready to transplant in 11 to 12 days. Plus also we have seen that in conventional method in broadcasting, we require what, 100 kgs of seeds, isn't it, for 1 hectare? But in case of system of rice intensification, we require only 5 to 6 kgs of seeds. So here also we are saving our resources. So that is why it is known as system of rice intensification. Okay, we are optimizing the resource use in this method. Okay, I hope it is clear. Next, we'll go for the Dapog method or Dapog nursery. And we had already seen, while we were seeing about the seed rate, that Dapog nursery we require only 1.5 to 2 kgs of what, seeds, isn't it? So again here also we are optimizing our resources. So we require only 1.5 to 2 kgs of seeds in Dapog nursery. Now what, Dapog nursery is also known as mat type nursery. Okay, Dapog nursery is also known as mat type nursery. Why? You see, because the seedlings are raised in a layer of soil which are engaged in concrete floor, polythene sheet or seedling trays, and the roots of the seedlings, they form a mat-like structure. Okay, they form a mat-like structure, and because of this, it is known as mat type nursery. So here you see the nursery area is even less than Sri method, 25 to 30 meter square only. Okay, and another advantage of Dapog method is that we can go for mechanized transplanting. Okay, mechanized rice transplanters can be used. This mat type nursery facilitates for transplanting mechanically. So this is also another advantage. Okay, so Dapog method was developed in Philippines, whereas Sri method developed in Madagascar. All right. Okay. So I hope the differences between Sri method and Dapog method is also clear, right? First, the origin place is different. Then the system of raising the seedlings is also different. The nursery area is even less than Sri method, isn't it, in case of Dapog? And we can go for mechanized transplanting in case of Dapog method, right? Now, next, if you see about the harvesting of rice, so rice is harvested when the grains are matured and they start to turn yellow. Okay, the plant starts to turn yellow. Usually, what you will see that when 80% of the culm has or the plant has turned yellow. Okay, when 80% of the plant has turned yellow, then we go for harvesting of rice. And at the time of harvesting, the moisture content in the grains should be what, 20 to 25 percentage. Okay, this moisture content is then reduced to 13 to 14 percentage before milling. That means before going for post harvest processing, we need to reduce this 20 to 25% moisture content to what, to 13 to 14%. Otherwise what will happen, there will be breaking. Okay, rice will break. So that is why what we do is that we go for drying of the rice. Okay, then these are the post harvest terminologies in case of rice. Like first one is what, first one is a threshing. So what is threshing? It is the separation of the paddy from the panicles. Okay, the paddy needs to be separated from the panicles, so either we do it manually or mechanically. So that separation is known as threshing. Okay, next is winnowing. So winnowing, what we have done, the chaff is separated from the grains. Okay, we do what, we do threshing, we do hulling. Hulling means removal of the hull, right? We do threshing and hulling, so we get what, the chaff. Okay, so that chaff, when we remove it from the grains, so that is known as winnowing. Winnowing means is usually done after hulling only. Okay, because hulling, the hull is released, isn't it? Hulls are released, so this hull is the chaff. Okay, so after that removal of the chaff is known as winnowing. Next is milling. Milling means what? Removal of husk and bran layers to produce the edible white rice kernels. So that is known as milling. So after hulling, you see, so this one, sorry, after cleaning and all, you see dehusking and hulling. That means the husk or the hull is removed, isn't it? After that, we go for polishing and then we go for whiting. So these all processes are included under milling. Okay, that is to get this edible white rice. First, we'll remove the hull, which is dehusking or hulling. Then we'll go for polishing, and then we'll go for whiting, and we will get what? We'll get this edible white rice kernels. Okay. So optimum hulling percentage in case of rice is 66 percentage or two-third of the paddy. This data is very important. 66 percentage or two-third of the paddy. Another very important, you can say, post-harvest management in case of rice is parboiling. What is it? It is a hydrothermal process. Hydrothermal, why? Because here water is also involved. Okay, water is involved. Plus, what is involved? Heat is involved. Heat is involved. So therefore, it is our hydrothermal process, wherein the rice is soaked and then boiled, leading to gelatinization of the starch. Okay, the starch is liquid in nature, but when we soak the rice for some time and boil it, okay, then what will happen? There will be gelatinization of the starch. So what will happen if gelatinization is there? Number one, that the rice breakage, broken rice percentage will be very less. Okay, broken rice percentage will be very less. And also what will happen, whatever, uh, I mean, on the bran portion, then on the outer portion of the rice, whatever vitamin B2 and all these things are there, that gets what? Absorbed inside the kernel. Okay, due to parboiling. So therefore, parboiling improves the nutritional quality of milled rice, particularly vitamin B12 is more available in case of parboiled rice. Okay, so parboiling is a hydrothermal process wherein the rice is soaked